actually wanted to start this video by singing a Disney song, but they're all stuck in my head, so... Hello there, fellow viewer, my name is Gabriel, and today I'm here to bring you the Disney song book tag. This tag was originally created by this lovely person right here, and I was tagged by Kylie K. All the links are down below. Thank you so much, Kylie. This looks like fun. I have decided to do something new though. I have not taken a look at the questions in the tag. I don't know which Disney songs are included, and I don't know which book to pair up with said Disney song. Wish me luck. This is something I have not done before, so here we go. Also, before I start, I grew up with Disney. Disney songs are everyone's childhood anthem. Disney was my childhood, and all of the Disney songs are fantastic. Some of my favorites include all of them. Yeah. Let's take a look at the questions, shall we? So the first question is A Whole New World, and we start the tag with one of my favorite Disney songs. I feel like I'm gonna say this for every single song. Pick a book that made you see the world differently, and this is why I always take a look at the questions first. I'm gonna go with Legend, but you can kind of fit in this topic, question, answer every single dystopian that I've read. I'm showing Legend because I simply don't show this amazing book enough times. The Hunger Games, Divergent, Legend, Red Queen, The Maze Runner. Dystopian books are supposed to make you reflect on the world you live in, on the world that you are impacting, what you're doing for the future of the earth. Dystopians are supposed to make you realize that you have to change your habits as of right now, in the present, not when the future is already destroyed, but right now when we know that the earth is heading towards oblivion. So any dystopian makes me see the world differently, because in every single dystopian book we have a different version of a shattered earth. We have a different version of an obliteration of the human race. So yeah, dystopians, Legend. Number 2, Cruella de Vil, and that's not one of my favorite Disney songs. Pick your favorite villain. Well, if it was a Disney villain, probably be Isma, because Isma is hilarious. Let's see if you get me when I say that your favorite Disney villain should be your most hated Disney villain, and for that it is just undoubtedly Frodo, or Frollo. I think it's Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I cannot deal with that guy. No. Favorite book villain, however, is harder. Who are we kidding? It's not hard at all. Queen Lavanna of the Lunar Chronicles series is a fantastic villain. I think she's interesting, and what we got of her in Fairest just intrigued me so much more about her. She really pulls you in this book. You're supposed to hate her in the 3 previous ones, and you do hate her. In this one, you're kind of supposed to hate her even more. You know, Fairest is such a thought-provoking and feeling confusing book, but I'm gonna have to go with Lavanna, the typical power-hungry bad guy. Yeah. Book number 3, I Won't Say I'm in Love, and I actually want to say that this is the only Disney song that I ever downloaded on my phone when I was like 11 years old, and it was on non-stop repeat. You weirded out yet? Pick a book you didn't want to admit that you loved, you know, like this song. I usually don't like this type of questions, but I'm going to go with The Maze Runner by James Dashner because I read this and I actually really enjoyed it. I actually read this right at the time that I got on BookTube, and everyone hated it. Wow, why? Like, I know the writing is a little inconsistent, and I know the characters aren't the best, but this is actually a pretty good dystopian. It was definitely intriguing, and so when I say I like The Maze Runner, people usually cringe because they don't like The Maze Runner. And yeah, I usually don't say that I like The Maze Runner, and I really shouldn't. That's why I don't like these questions. I like to not be ashamed to say the books that I like. So yeah, you can kind of fit The Maze Runner in this question. The fact that I read all 4 books in the series should count for something that I like the series. Question number 4, Gaston. Pick a character you could not stand. I really could not stand Gaston. That character is just... Veronica from Dune. I just simply could not stand Veronica. I didn't know what people meant by an annoying protagonist until I got in contact with this person. I really did not like the way she looked at things, the way she thought, the way everything was centered around this print. It was like nothing else existed, and it really bothered me that she thought this way. So Veronica from Dune, you know, I did not like her. Question number 5 is Part of Your World, and yes, this is one of my favorite Disney songs. It's The Little Mermaid, you guys. It's name a book that takes place in a world you lived in, and you guys know my first answer for this is Narnia, so I want to go with something a little different, or you know, not so different, because you also know that I absolutely love the Grisha world. Everything about this land was just absolutely fantastical. The people, the powers, the geography, the culture, just I wished so bad to live in this fictional land. You know, it would just be amazing. This is definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite young adult fantasy world. Everything I ever hoped for in a fictional land. Question number 6. A dream is a wish your heart makes. Here's the thing. I've never actually watched Cinderella. That is the only classic movie I think I have never watched, simply because it never interested me. Describe the perfect book for you, the book of your dream. Well, I just said that it has to have an amazing land, place, setting. Very, very important to me. Since that alone didn't work on Dune, writing. The book has to have above average writing style, like These Broken Stars was just completely jaw-dropping when it came to the writing style. The characters have to be people that I absolutely love, that I relate to, that I want to see together, that I don't like together. The characters have to have dynamic. The characters have to have a lot of dialogue, preferably. The plot has to be steady with constant twists and turns. That is my kind of book. It can be fantasy, it can be dystopian, it can be action or adventure, but it has to stay with these basic and general characteristics. Question number 7. Someday my prince will come. In this case, princess. Name a fictional book character that you would marry. Here's a book I haven't taken out in a while, but the main character in Nightshade by Andrea Kremer, Kara, was so kick-ass. I loved this main character. The way she stood up for the women in her society was just amazing, and her brain just completely jumbles up when it comes to love and feelings of the heart. You know, like any other person. I really liked reading about Kara, and I think she would make a fantastic significant other soulmate thingamabob. Let's just hope her name really is Kara, because Kala. Her name is Kala. I'm sorry. Kala. Number 8, I See the Light. Every song in Tangled is just so underrated. Anyway, pick a book that changed your life, and this is just such a no-brainer. The Hunger Games by the one and only Suzanne Collins. The Hunger Games was the one that sparked my love for reading. It's the dystopian books for young adults. I honestly think you can't get better than The Hunger Games, at least the first one. You can't argue that the first Hunger Games is a young adult masterpiece. It is just completely mind-blowing. The way that Suzanne Collins came up with this idea and the way that she translated on page, it is just phenomenal. And it changed my life in the way that A, I started reading because of that book. B, dystopians have become one of my favorite genres. Even though I don't buy them that often, a good dystopian is just an amazing book to read. It is one of the most hyped things out there for young adults these days. It is just completely insane the love people have for this series, and when that love is well put, when it's not only centered on the love triangle or
oh my god, these are kids killing kids.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. These books are amazing, and yes, you can say they changed my life in more ways than one. Question number 9, When You Wish Upon a Star. And I have no idea how this song goes, which is probably embarrassing. I know it's from Pinocchio though. Pick a book you wish you could reread for the first time. This is actually a hard question, and
It's ironic.
it's ironic because recently in my Book Bloggers Award tag, I put this question for other people to answer. So, you guys know how much I hate to repeat myself, but I'm going to have to answer The Hunger Games again, because the first time I read The Hunger Games, I was 12 years old. It was mid-2011, and I was young, and I loved the book. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adored it. But I wish I could reread it for the first time with my age right now, maybe a year ago when I was 15, or right now when I'm 16. I did reread it 2 years ago, and it was so much different from the first time. But I wish I could have that first experience again with the book, because I think it would just be so different and actually so much better than the first time I read it. Yeah, The Hunger Games, definitely. Number 10, I Just Can't Wait to Be a King. Pick a book with some kind of monarchy on it. Monarchies in young adult books are some of my favorite things. When they work out so well. And I don't mean the monarchy itself works well, but the book works fantastically. I could go with Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, which had some killer monarchs. The king, the queen, the princes were really thought-provoking characters. I really like reading about them. I could go with The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, which had another super awesome monarchy that I love. The power system in this futuristic Earth is actually pretty intricate, because in the Eastern Commonwealth we have a monarchy, and then in the other continents we have something else, and I really liked how that worked out. And obviously in the Grisha trilogy as well, another element that added to my loving this series was the monarchy. I thought it was very well built. The way the first and second army, their friendly or not so friendly competition was actually pretty great. So yeah, some of those books are books I love with monarchies. Yep. And number 11, the last question, Colors of the Wind, and that is a Disney musical masterpiece. Just name a book with a beautiful, colorful cover. It's actually a no-brainer, but 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. Everyone, and I mean everyone, obsesses over this cover. I don't know if you like the book or not, but this cover, you cannot deny, is beautiful. It's colorful, it's beautiful, it fits in this question. Yup. And that was it for the Disney Songs book tag. It did work out fine that I did not have a look at the questions beforehand, but in other tags would have been completely a disaster. Thank you so much for tagging me, Kylie. This was fun, and I desperately needed video ideas, so thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see more from me, it would mean a lot if you subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for my next videos, and remember to keep your day a bookish one. Goodbye!